Family Amusements here in Millis, Massachusetts. I'm Bob Lee with Dan Castle today for our Sunday night feature. Sean Taylor, our 2021 ACST Champ, is up against Rob Linehan, and Dan Castle's going to be on the call, and I'm going to be on the scoreboard. Gentlemen, start your engines.
Thank you, Bob, and welcome everybody to Millis. We have a great match tonight. Two excellent bowlers in our A division. Rob Linehan's a visiting bowler. He's going to start things for us on lane 5 in Ryan's and Millis. Great place to bowl. And the bowlers will be bowling 5 boxes at a time, 5 strings. And here's our first ball. And Rob puts it over on the 2-pin. A little bit of an angle, so he didn't punch out a half Worcester, which often you see on that. He took out a 3. All right, clips a head pin. He had 4 horsemen plus a triangle over there, and he took out a bunch. So right now just a 4, 7, and 9 left to clean this up. And a 7 box. So Rob in our A Division South. Rob's in Group 1. There's 16 bowlers total, broken into groups of 4 each. Rob's in Group 1. He's currently in 3rd place. This is a Week 5 match. There's a nice ball from Rob. Takes out 9, leaves a 7-pin with a nice-looking piece of wood. Rob's left-handed. He's got a left to right break. Sometimes a 7-pin can be tough for bowlers with that, but no problem for Rob. He's right on it. So spare in the second puts him at 17 plus a ball. So this is the 5th match of the season for both of these guys. There's 18 matches total, so they're running right in order. On the fill. Off on that 2-pin again, just takes out 4. He's got the 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, and 9, it looks like. Kind of a bit of a split there. Tried a nice attempt there to cut the inside of the head pin, and takes out everything but the 3 and the 6. And Rob's got himself a 10 box, so that puts him at 31 after 3. So Rob currently is carrying a 115.15 average in ACST play, and in terms of points, he's at 22 and 34. Off on a 3-pin, still trying a little trouble finding the head pin, but he moved just a little too much, punched out a half Worcester right. The 3 and a 9-pin went. Off to the left on the 4-pin. So now he's hoping to clean up some of these. He's got 5 total. See if he just tries for the 3 and whatever else goes he's happy with. And that's what I think he was trying to do. He has another 7 box, so 38 after 4. So as those of you who have watched or been involved in the ACST. So Rob's on his box 5. I'll come back to that thought in a second. That was a good ball. He's on the head pin. Good things happen. And a late falling 6-pin gives him a 9 drop. Okay, yep. Okay. And wow, the wood just takes it away from him. He was right on it. So he's got, so far on 5 boxes, 2 head pins. Bob's tracking that for us, so we'll keep reporting that to you. Rob's at 47 after 5 at the halfway point in the first game for him. So Sean's coming up. Sean Taylor is the 2021 champion of the ACST A division. We called it the Pro division at that point. And Sean has a 119.95 average this year in ACST so far in the early part of the season. And he comes in on a 2-pin, late fall. So he's left with a 159, and there's some wood in between there. Tough shot. Everything but the head pin. So there's a 10 box. Picks up the head pin last, but he got it. And that gives him a 3-pin lead in the first box. Sean right now has a winning record so far in this season with 32 and 24 in point totals. He's in Division 2. He's in second place of the 4 bowlers in that division. Sean goes off again to the left side of the head pin and has a right-handed Kaleri. Trying to cut that ball from the 1 back to the 8 pin, but he left the 3 on the right standing. He's got some wood in front of it. Could pick up a 10 here. No problem. Sean's got one of the faster balls in the game. Doesn't usually show up on the machine here, which only goes up to 40 miles an hour, so Bob's got his radar gun. Okay, so Sean's perfect so far. 20 after 2. Nice ball. Looked like a potential strike there, but he takes out everything but the 6 pin. I think the wood could block him a little bit here, so he's got to think about that a little bit, how he's going to get around that wood. And he used the end of the wood to catch it, and there's a spare, and the 3rd for Sean Taylor. Puts him at 30 plus a ball. At this point, Rob was at 31, so any fill here gives Sean a lead in the string. Nice ball. Again, a potential strike there, but he took out 9, left a 5 pin. With that fill, he's at 39 after 3. And he picks up the single pin, no problem. There's a spare in the 4th, 49 plus a ball. So far, every pin has fallen. And he is, so far, 50% on the head pin, 2 out of 4. And those 2 have been good 9 drops. Make it 3 out of 5, and there's a strike, a 10 fill. So beautifully done. Sean is at 59 at 4 and 69 plus a 2-ball fill. So gives him a 22-pin lead over Rob, not including the fill at the halfway point of game 1. So Rob's got some work to do here. Coming up on lane 6. And again, we bowl 5 boxes on each side. And switch over. Bowlers are awarded 2 points for every game that they win, 4 points for the total score. Rob, first ball in box 6. On the head pin that time, nice 9 drop, leaves just a 7, no wood to help cover. Tough shot for a lefty. But he rides the rail all the way down, picks it up nice and clean. Kept the ball out of the gutter, which is the goal of that. Nicely done. Spare in the 6 for Rob Linehan, also known as the Road Runner. He's got a unique approach. And a 6 fill, so that picks up some ground for him. He's a 63 after 6. 7 fill now. Hang on, correct, fix that. It's a 7 fill. The 1, 6, and 10 are left. On the head pin, just off to the left. Bob has color coordinated our score sheets tonight to match the shirts of the bowlers. Millis are going to go. He tapped the 6 with the wood, but it just wiggles for him. It doesn't come out. All right, 71 after 7. Looking for some marks. 2 so far. It's going to need more than that. Nice ball on the head pin, and there's a strike. There we go. Rob found a strike ball. $81 plus 2 balls after 8. All right, first ball in the fill. He's on the 3 pin, takes out everything but the 4 horsemen, so 6 is his first ball. And a spare in the 9th. 10 fill, 91 after 8, 101 plus a ball after 9. Uh-oh. Rob knew that when he let it go. He just cherry-picked the right-hand side. A lemon drop on the right. the 6-pin went, so one fill puts him at 102 after 9. Nope, off on the 2. And now just has a mess down there. Trying to get some pins out of this. And only one more for a 5-box, and so Rob closes with a 107 on the first string. Okay, here comes Taylor. Whew. Yep. So overall for that first game, Rob was 50% on the head pin. Here comes Sean on a strike. He's trying to make a double there, almost does. Drops everything but the 6. So 9 is his first ball, looking for 4 marks in a row. And he's got it, 4 in a row for Sean Taylor. He closes the half with a 79 after 5, and right now he's at 89 plus a ball in the 6th box. Okay, coming into box 7 in game 1. On a head pin again. Okay, he broke up the split. There goes the 6 pin. So that gives him 9 in the fill. We need a score correction up there. Okay, Sean took care of his own. So Sean's at 98 after 6. And make it 5 in a row. 5 marks in a row for Taylor. He's won this string already. He's a 108 plus a ball, and his 3 boxes to go after this. Off the head pin that time. Takes out 7. So 7 in the fill, 115 after 7. And he has the head pin plus the 6 and the 7. And just picks up the head pin, so he'll be open in box 8. Gets one more, 9 box, 124 after 8. He's already putting Rob in a position where he's going to have to really come back hard. Rob's very capable of that, though, so a lot of bowling to go here. Another head pin hit for Sean Taylor. And he took out 5, and he's got a double row back there, which is the 3, 5, 6, 9, 10. Just off the object pin, picks up just a 6 pin. So open in the 9th. And 2 more, so an 8 box, that gives Sean 132. At the 9th box. Very good game here. Well over his average of 120, just about. He's on the 2 pin that time. And takes out 5. That's a 4 horseman plus the 9 pins hiding back there. There's some wood in between. That might help. And he's off the head pin that time. So takes out everything but the 1 and a 9. And gets a 9 pin, leaves a head pin. So Sean closes with a 141. And takes our first 2 points in this match. And he was on the head pin, I see, 60% of the time. So Rob started off in the first half off the head pin quite a bit, but he picked it up. And ended up with a 50-50 on the head pin. Sean did a little bit better, 60-40. No, you're good, Rob. It's over on lane 5. No, false start there. No, you go back to lane 5. Yeah, play the box. We'll add it to the screen. So there's a little confusion here about which lane we start on for the second one, and it's actually supposed to stay on go 5-6, 5-6, 5-6, and So Rob's going to finish out this box. We'll add it to the score. And then he'll go back to lane 5. So he's dropped 7 to start with. He was on the head pin. Has a split. And picks up the 10. Nice 10. So nicely done there. All right. Sorry for the pause. A little bit of a sniffle today, guys, so pardon my voice if it's not good today, but I don't think it's too bad. And we have some league bowlers on the right of us. A lot of people bowling Sunday night here. So they're going to be right next to us bowling, but that'll be fine. They won't interfere. So right now what we're doing is correcting the score in box 1. Rob's got it in there. So $10 to start game 2. All right. Box 2 back on lane 5. And Linehan is off the head pin, punches out the half Worcester right. It's 3 and the 9. Wasn't too far off the head pin. And on the attempt, he's right in the pocket where he wants to be, but he's left with the castle right, the 5, 6, and 10. No wood to help him on this to pick up a 10, so for me, I might try just for 2. And that's what he's trying to do. He almost picked that up off the wall, cut it over a little bit, so 9 box, 19 after 2. Open in both boxes. And Taylor has a 34-pin lead after the first. So drops 9, leaves a 10-pin, and only the 10-pin. Okay, there's some wood over there. I don't think he's going to want to use that. He tried for it. All right, he's open in the third. I thought he'd go straight for the pin. And a 9 box. So Linehan's open for 3. His corner pins are tough. He picked up that 7 in the last string really nicely, but the 10 just eluded him that time. Okay, box 4. And again on the 3 pin. Didn't punch out this time. He got a little more. So it says, well, what went there? It looks like the 3 and the 6 were all that went. It's a little odd. It looked like it was more than 2, and then I look at the scoreboard and I said 2, yeah. Yeah, that's weird. So that time he came in on the 2 pin and picked up a few more, so he's got the 1, 7, 8, and 10 left. Trying to clean some of that off and picks up the head pin and the 8 for an 8 box, 36 after 4. Looking for a mark here. He hasn't had one yet. 4 boxes in. All right, box 5. Again on a 2 pin, a little bit better of a leave this time. Took out 6, he's left with the 4 horsemen right, 1, 3, 6, and 10. And really wants a mark here. Oh, light on the head pin and goes flying around, doesn't take out any of the back pins, so open for 5 boxes. He'll be under 50. All right, and a 10 box. So good job pinning out in most of these boxes here, but no marks. So 46 after 5. Rob carries, as I said before, a 115 average in ACST play. So running a little bit under average. Okay. Now Sean Taylor's coming up, hoping to extend his lead that he picked up in the first string. Sean threw a nice 141 for his first game. He's off the head pin that time on the 2 pin. Drops 4. 4 horsemen right plus 2 more in the back. That time he's on the head pin. And he makes a great effort at that, but the 5 pin just decides it doesn't want to play and it sticks around. And there it is, 10 box, matching Rob's 10 box in box 1. Okay. Both bowlers open so far in this string. Taylor on box 2. Again on a 2-pin. This time he gets some late action. I don't know if he likes that or not. He's got the head pin and a triangle in the back. Got to hit the head pin to make this work. And he's off of everything. Some woods flew around back there, but it didn't take anything. Went right around the head pin. And that time he takes a head pin and a few more. And the 10 pin is wiggling, but it didn't go down. Like a stubborn loose tooth. All right, so they're tied at 19 after 2, both bowlers. Taylor again, 3 times in a row on a 2-pin. This time he's got the 4 horsemen alone. It looked like it was going to be a Caleri, but he's in better shape than that. So it's a good spare opportunity here.
Nice try.
All over it, no doubt about that one. So the first spare of this game goes to Sean Taylor. So he puts him at 29 plus a ball after 3. All right, you waiting for his balls to come back? No, he's got one. On a fill. And punches out a half Worcester right. So all 3 first boxes he was on the 2-pin. That time he was on the 3. And that puts him at 31 after 3. Now he's on the head pin. Everything but the 7-10. So picked up a bunch. Didn't get the spare. He put that in the pocket right between the 1 and the 2. And an 8 box. So that puts Taylor at 39 after 4. Chris Parkinson is here watching with us. All right, waiting for the reset. He's got it. And the first ball of the 5th box. That time he's on the head pin. That's what he wanted to do all along. So his first head pin hit of the string, and he's got a 4-pin plus a piece of wood in front of him for a spare leave, and that spare leave has now been converted to a spare. So Sean Taylor closes box 5 with a spare. He puts him at 49 plus a ball. Linehan's at 46 even. And so Sean's extended his lead for the moment. He only had 1 head pin hit that time. That's not characteristic. Now, Linehan threw a pretty good half in the second half last time. That's what he's hoping to do here. First ball in box 6 for Rob. On the head pin. Okay, it's not a bad leave. Takes out 7. He's got the 2, 4, 7. Oh, just misses. Just misses. Went wide to the right. Open in the 6th. And there we go. There's a 10 box. It's what he wanted his last ball to do. It's a little aggressive on that. He was going more for the pin than the pocket, it seemed. Okay, box 7. He's at 56 after 6. Looking for a first mark in his string. There's a head pin hit. It's a little light. All right, he's got a tough split here. He's got the 7 pin all by itself, and over on the right we have a triangle, the 6, 9, 10. Some wood in between. He's got to look at that. I'm not sure that wood is going to help, but it might, because he's got one leaning kind of angled against the 6 and the 9, but I don't think it's covering. He's got wood flat on in between. He gets it. Nicely done. Good read of the wood by Linehan. There wasn't too many places you could hit that where I think it would have gone, but he gets a spare in the 7. And so Rob's at 66 plus a ball. He wants to get a couple more marks here, make sure he gives Sean some competition. Head pin hit. 7 in the fill. 73 after 7. And he has the 4, 5, 7. And Wood, I don't know. He's going to play to the... Whoa, no, nice try. He tried to drive that wood over against the right wall and back. He did, but it went behind the other 2. I don't think he could have done much better of a shot than that. And this time he goes to the right side, and that might have worked. That might have worked. $10 for Linehan, 83 after 8. Okay. Box 9, looking for marks. That time he's off the head pin. They're still falling, late falling ball pins here. He's got a diamond in front. That would be the 1, 2, 3, 5, and the 7 pin over on the left. He's got to make that diamond explode. Okay, he's off of it. Nothing comes off the wall to pick up the 1 and the 3. So another open box in the 9th. See a nice strike on the lane beside us in the league bowlers. And Linehan's got a 9 box, so he's on the object that time. Ends up with a 9, which puts him at 92 after 9, so really, really, really wants to get a strike here. In the pocket, and 5, 6, 9. Would be side to 5 that he might sweep over. I don't know. It's moving back out of there. He's going to try to sweep it, catch a cap anyway or something, but everything goes right in between. So needs 1 pin for 100. And he goes through the middle for a 99. $7 puts him at 99. Okay. So right now, Taylor's coming up. He's at 49 plus a ball after 5. So with the 0 fill, he would need to throw just 1 spare, but that doesn't count as fill, so the fill's going to make it so he doesn't need any spares, more than likely. Let's find out what happens. He's on first ball in the 6 is a fill, and off onto the 3 pin, but picks up 6, maybe 7. No, it's not going to go. Okay, so 55 after 5. So he really only needs to pick up 45 more to win the string. Okay, goes 2 and 2. The 1, 2, 6, and 10 just clips the 2 pin that time. Misses a head pin totally. And 1 more went in the hole and was going for the right side, I'm pretty sure, but only picked up the 6. So he's a 63 after 6. Linehan hit a spare in the 7th. And Taylor again, he's all over that 2 pin today. 8 drop so far, so that's a Millis 8, Bob. That'll work. So he's got the 1 and the 3 to shoot at for a spare. And again, off the head pin, just picks up the 3. So open in the 7th. Okay. And there's the head pin in the 3rd ball. So a $10, 73. We're knotted up at 7. So he still doesn't need a spare to win the string. Trying to keep a very commanding lead on total, excuse me. There's a head pin hit. When Sean connects to that head pin, he gets a lot going on down there. It's not a strike, it's a 9 drop, but just a 5 pin by itself. And he's been pretty good at those single pins, so there's a spare in the 8. 83 plus a ball. Rob was at 83 at this point in the game. Okay, on the fill, drops a strike. Once Sean finds that head pin, so that puts him at 93. He's won this string, as he's at 103 plus 2 ball fill. A little rough patch there, but now he's on the head pin again. On the 3 that time. Takes out 7. He's got the 1, 2, and 4 to complete his fill for another spare attempt. All right, gets 2 of them, so 8, 9 in the fill. So 112 after 9. And a single pin pickup, so a 10 box puts Sean at 122 for his second string. And Sean wins the points for game 2. So he's extended his lead by 23 pins. Sean's at 263 after 2. Rob is at 206 after 2. So that gives Sean a 57 pin lead. And there we go. Rob's on the head pin that time and drops a strike. So far, Sean's 45% on the head pin. Rob is at 55%. So Rob's hitting the head pin a little more than Sean. Most of our A bowlers are in the 50-60% range or better. Another head pin hit for Linehan. Didn't carry a strike. Dropped 7 to start. Or is it 6? 6, I'm sorry. So he has a 3, 7, 9, 10. Kind of spread out all over the place there. And picks up 1 more, so a 7 fill in the strike, 17 after 1. Picks up all 3 of them. That was a tough shot. Then 3, 9, 7. Beautifully done. 10 box, 27 after 2. Okay, on the head pin, 3 out of 3 times that time. He takes out everything but the 5 pin. He's got his ball working now. Throwing just under 30 miles an hour. And picks up the single pin spare. So that puts Rob at 37 plus a ball at box 3.
Nice try, Ben.
Off that time. So box 4, he doesn't hit the head pin. Only a 3 fill, so 40 after 3. That time he comes in very nicely on that spare attempt. That's got everything but the 7. That looked good. He came in right in the 1-2 pocket. That's how you hit that one. And he gets a 7. So far, 4 boxes in, Rob has every pin down. He's at 50 after 4, 10 over par. Coming in at box 5. He's looking to attempt to win this and win this big to cut into that lead. Another head pin hit. Is he going to go? 6 pin is not hit quite hard enough. 9 drop. Only the 6 left. Some wood next to it. Hits it on the right-hand side. Sweeps it over. Another spare for Linehan. It puts him at 60 plus a ball after 5. That's more like what we're used to seeing from Rob. So Sean coming up now. We're in game 3 out of 5 games that we're playing here. Okay, Taylor again on a 2-pin. Gets some great action though. His ball is over 40. It's not registering on the system. He came in clean on a 2-pin and took out everything but the 3 in a row there. And he catches a head pin, but it only takes out the 1 and a 6, so he's got the 3 left. How did that happen? Okay, he came in on the left side of the head pin and kicked over to the wall. Came back and took out the 6, and he missed the 3 on the 3rd ball, so a 9 box for Taylor. So Sean's, it's interesting. He's on a 2-pin a lot, but when he hits a head pin, another 2-pin hit. Okay, he's got 8. Okay, it's not going to go. So the 1-8, that can be made. He just picks up the ace, so opening box 2. That gives Linehan the lead in this string. Yeah, he's on a 2-pin pretty consistently. And 9-box, so Sean's got 2 9-boxes in a row for 18 after 2. Linehan's at 27 after 2. Linehan threw 3 marks and a half. So far, Sean's won both strings, 141 to 107 and 122 to 99, box 3. Again, on it, solid on a 2-pin. And the 1-3-8 left, kind of a mini split. It's got to carry something over to that 8-pin. Okay, nothing carries over. So another open box, just 1 pin standing. All right, that time he gets a 10-box for 28 after 3. That puts him down 12 pins from Linehan's in completed boxes. Two to go. A couple of marks here. We'll put him right back in it. That time he made an adjustment, but a little too far. Came in on a 3-pin. And we have the 4 horsemen left, which is the 1-2-4-7. Kimrowski special. On a 2, just takes out 2. A little frustrated. Open box in the 4th. 1 and 7 remaining. And he picks up the head pin, kicks it over nicely, but it doesn't catch the 7. So a 9-box for Sean Taylor, 37 after 4. All right, box 5, looking to hang a mark here. That time he hits the head pin, gets some great action, and kind of a terrible leave here. He's got the 8 and a 9. The redeeming character of this leave is he's got a sloped wood back next to the 8. He's going to use it, but too high, I think. I think he needed to hit that a little lower, so he'll be open in a 5th. And a 10-box, so Taylor's at 47 after 5. Opening all boxes and only 1 head pin hit. When Sean hits a head pin, it's amazing. But if he's on a 2, you never know.
Yeah, I mean, this is an interesting case of where accuracy versus a lot of spin and speed may not tell us a story that the slower bowlers want to hear.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm old, you know. I used to throw 30. Right now I'm running like 24, 25 on a good day.
People ask why I bring that gun around. I know Sean's throwing 40.
Or more. All right, Rob is on a fill in box 6 of game 3. We're halfway through the match. Rob went on a 2-pin and put 6 in his fill, so he closes out the first half of the string with a 66 half. 19 pins ahead of Taylor at the half. Cut into his lead. And just light on the head pin, does not get the spare. And we have the 6 and the 10 left. And the 9-box, so wood protected the 10. So Rob's at 75 after 6. It's got a good string going here. Box 7, he's on the head pin that time. Avoided getting the spread eagle, which it kind of looked like was going to happen. And has just the right hand 3, the right wing of the eagle. That time he put it right between the 3 and the 6, which most of the time will take that. So spare in the 7th for Linehan, 85 plus a ball. Definitely a much better game than he was throwing the last one. This time he is on the head pin, drops 9. Is it going to be 10? It's thinking about it, but it's not going to go. So 9 in the fill gives him 94 at 7. And all we have down there is a 6-pin with a piece of wood next to it that could act as a guide for him. Looking for a spare here. And he's got it, no problem. The wood, he was on the wood, but it guided the ball right over the pin. So 104 after 8 plus a ball. Rob's a lot of fun to bowl with. I bowl with him on a team on our once-a-month league we just started here. And Rob puts 5 in the fill for 109 after 8. He's got the Caleri left, 4 horsemen left plus a 9-pin. And he's on the pocket. He takes out the 4 horsemen, but nothing comes over to tap the 9 out. So an open box in the 9th. Great effort on that, though. That's what you got to do. You got to give 4 to go. And picks off the 9-pin, 10 bucks, 119 after 9. All right, coming into box 10 of game 3. Rob is on the head pin again, just to the right. A little bit of a light hit on the head pin and takes out just 4. Got a good cluster to the left and a 10-pin coming in on that. Too much to the right. He really wanted to be to the left of that object pin, I think. Now he just wants to clean him up. He's over 120. Gets one more, 6 bucks for a 125 string for Linehan.
Sean's going to need 78 to tie that.
So just in case you couldn't hear, Sean's going to need 78 pins to tie this string, 79 to win this string. For Sean Taylor, that's very much in the realm of possibilities, to tell the truth. Okay, so Sean's coming up in a box 6. He sat on a 47 half, the first half of this string. And looking for his first ball here, and this time he's on a head pin and 7-10 split, but he sure gets a lot of action down there. The last 2 head pin hits were kind of ugly splits. He gets a lot of wall action, so I think that wood may not be in the worst place possible. Yeah, I guess it was in the worst place possible because it tricked him into thinking that might work. So nothing but the wood went. He's open in box 6. And this goes left of the 7, so an 8 box, 55. Down 20 pins and completed boxes in this string. So he still needs to pick up 70 to tie. He's at Rob through a 125. On a 2-pin again. Caleri right, 4 horsemen right, plus a 8-pin. So he's been on the 2-pin most of these boxes, but when he hits a head pin, he's gotten splits. Not bad. He put that in the pocket where he wanted to, and the 6 and the 10 decided not to go. He threw a pin right between them. Came off the wall and went right in between those two. There's a foot between the pins from this vantage point. It looks like they're right next to each other. There's quite a bit of distance between them. And a 10 box, 65 after 7. Picked up a pin on Rob's. No, he didn't. Rob had a spare 9, so now he's 29 down in this box, or this game, and he's also up against a spare 5. On the head pin that time, and a nice 9 drop. That's what he wants to do. Get the 9s and 10 drops. That'll give him some good spare opportunities. And this one's not too bad. All over it. Spare in the 8th. 2 boxes to go. He's a 75 plus a ball. So he's got to put up 50 pins, including this mark, in 2 boxes. Including the fill. So we're talking strikes here. And And that's not going to help. Again, the third time so 4 head pin hits. The third one, 3 out of 4 of them left him with a bad leave. And this just took out 3 pins for his fill, so 78. The 1-8-9 went. I call that the W because if you look at it from the top down, it looks like a W. I've never heard anybody else call it that, but that's my thing. Took out a few more. Got 3 more. And that's a 10 box, 88. Linehan will win this string. So it'll end up after this string 4-2 in favor of Taylor. All right, box 10. On to 3. Not a terrible leave. He took out 6, and he's got a line of 3, and behind it is an 8 pin. So 1, 2, 4, 8. Makeable spare. Back on to 2. Took out 2 more. He'll be under 100 this time. That is something you don't see very often. And a 9 box. So Taylor ends up with a 97.
It's time for Steve's Bowler of the Week. We have 2 candy bars to give away. One for last week and one for tonight.
So
last week, this young lady rolled an outstanding game of 139 for a 316.
all right, we'll wait for the announcement here.
This week, this gentleman had a high game of 102 for an outstanding 301. Please give it up to your bowlers of the week, Dickie Boyd and Bill Scher.
All right, so
Guys, come on up to your candy bar.
all right, so with the league announcement over, right now, Linehan's at 331 in total. Taylor's at 360. So Rob cut into Sean's lead and it's now a 29-pin lead for Sean Taylor. And so far, Linehan's running about 57% on the head pin. Taylor's running about 43%. All right, game 4. Linehan is on the head pin, takes out 6. He's got the leave is the 3, 6, 10, and 9. And he hit it nicely, but the 9 pin stayed up. So open in the first. And clips the wood, makes it roll slowly back and forth, and do a little dance in front of the 9, but nothing going here. So a 9 box for Rob Linehan. Just off the head pin that time under the 3. Looked like it was going to be a Caleri for a second. It ends up being a Caleri minus the 4. So 1, 2, 7, 9. Some wood between the 2 and the 7. No, he misses a head pin and just picks up the 9 pin. So 3 left, open box in a second. Third ball. He makes a 9. Leaves only the head pin. So 18 after 2. And Bob's doing a great job over here keeping the score on the spreadsheet so I can focus on the game. And a head pin hit that time. And that resembles a spread eagle, but it's not. Kind of a clipped spread eagle, but the inner pin is gone, so he's got a piece of wood there. Maybe that'll help. We'll see. Oh, what a bid! That was great. He threw a pin over to the 10 pin, but the 6 stayed up. All right, the wood blocks him. He tried to helicopter it over, didn't carry. So a 9 box for Rob. He's 3 9s in a row. 27, 3 times 9. All right, box 4. On a 3 pin that time. All right, slow fall. He's got the 1, 2, 7. So 4 horsemen minus the 4 pin. No wood that'll help. Got a hit in the pocket there, and he does. Beautifully done. Nice hit. Spare in the 4th. He put it right between the 1 and the 2. A little out of focus down at the pins. All right, Phil in the 5th box. He's on the head pin that time and gets a late 9 drop. So 9 in the fill puts him at 46. And just a 7 pin. We saw Rob go down what I call going down a rail right next to the gutter all the way down on that the last time he got this, and tries it again. And his break on his ball just carried it to the right of the 7, so open in the 5th. Very subtle curve on that ball, but enough to carry it away from the pin. Tries it again. That time he gets it. Kept it straight. So 10 box. So Linehan's at 56 after 5. Pretty good pinning here is 9, 9, 9, 19, and 10. That's how we came up with that.
King, I got turned off. We're live.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
You're good.
Yeah, we're still good. All right, Taylor, first ball of game 4. That time he's on the head pin. And it's not going to go, but a nice 9 drop. So everything but the 10, a piece of wood in front of the 10. And there's a Sean Taylor spare and then first. So instant lead in the string. So now he's on a fill ball in box 2 of game 4. And on a 2 pin again. And he gets a great action with that powerful ball of his. But it's kind of an ugly leave. So he puts 6 in the spare, and it gives him 16. And now he's got a 1, 7, 8, 10 to shoot at. Just picks up the 8, so now we have a high-low jack situation. I almost made this the other day. And Sean, I know Sean can. Nope, nothing, 7 box. So 23 after 2. He gives him a 5-pin lead in completed boxes. And here's another ball on a 2. And again a split. So 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, and 9. Kind of like a half Worcester. And Sean just about gets it. He cut right into the inside of that hole, and everything but the 9 went. That was a great bid. Could not get that 9 to carry. And the wood blocked him that time. No luck at all. So 9 box, 32 after 3. He's up 5 pins in completed boxes, but now he's up against a spare 9. Two pin again. 7. 1, 3, 10 is the remainder. And unbelievable, he puts it right where he wants to, and it just doesn't carry the 10. The pins go flying off the wall to the left. There's a 10 box. So 42 after 4. We had a close one here because Linehan's at 46 after 4, and then he threw a 10 box. So Sean can pick up a spare here. He could take the lead in this string. But got to get the spare lead first. On the head pin that time, and would you believe it? Virtually every time he's hit the head pin the last few boxes, he's gotten a terrible leave. So this is a spread eagle plus a 8 pin, and he's got things dancing around there, trying to kick some stuff off the wall, see what will happen, but only picks up a couple. All right, so a 9, almost a 10 box. So at the halfway point of game 4, Rob Linehan leads 56 to 51. So anybody's game right now for the game 4. After 3 games, Taylor has a 29-pin lead in total, and that's currently 24 pins. So Linehan has cut into it some more. And, okay, back on the head pin count. Linehan's 57%, Taylor's at 43%. If we counted 2 pins, that would be a little different. There's another 2-pin hit right into 2-4 pocket for Linehan. And not a bad leave, kind of tough. He's got the head pin and the 6 and the 9. He's got some wood in between, might help make things fly around a little. And he's off of the head pin, picks up the back 2 pins, so open in the 6. And a 9 box. Misses a head pin, so 65 after 6. He's still staying around that 29 mile an hour mark, 30 mile an hour mark in that ballpark. Okay, again on the 2-pin. These guys are both on a 2-pin a lot. So, drop 6, 4 horsemen right, 1, 3, 6, 10, some wood in between. Maybe a helper, maybe a hindrance. Rob's off it, almost steals a head pin, but didn't quite. So open in box 7, just a head pin again. And there it is, a 10 box. 75 after 7. 5 pins over par. Bob's wiggling around our camera a little bit, trying to find a better perspective. Rob's looking to mark here, give Sean something to think about. Okay, that's a head pin hit. And 9 go down, the 7 is left. So Rob gets another shot at that 7 pin by himself. Well, maybe it's not by itself. We have some wood coming in. All right, it makes it interesting. Maybe cap that wood over to the right. Where's he going? He's going for the pin. Puts in the gutter. It's tough for a lefty. Righty might come in right to left on that. And he picks it up in a 3rd ball, so a 10 box, 85 after 8. Still staying 5 over par. All right, that time he's just off the head pin on a 3. It looked like it's going to be a head pin hit. Takes out 6, 1, 2, 9, and 10 are left. Wood in between. All right, goes wide to the right of the head pin. And a nice 10. At just the 1, 2, 10. No wood to play with, and he kicked the head pin right over to take out the 10. Beautifully done. 95 after 9. Wants a mark here, something awful. On the head pin that time. There we go. That's the ball he's been looking for. So I got everything but the 5 pin. Some wood to help, maybe. Oh, no. Last thing he wanted to do was to go to the right. And he went just enough to the right to move the wood over, but not the pin. So opened in a 10th. And there it is for a 105 string. And that puts him at 36. You're off on the 2 pin a lot.
One spot.
What?
One spot you needed not to hit.
Okay, Sean Taylor's coming up. He's got an opportunity to catch up here. He's down 5 pins in completed boxes. He's at 51 after 5. Linehan was at 56. Linehan ended up open all the way through the second half. Good pinning. But now Sean just needs 55 pins to catch up, or to win this string. So 1 mark could do it. He's on the head pin that time. He took a little time to contemplate while he was waiting out, and realizing he's on a 2 pin a lot, so he took out everything but the 2 and the 8 behind it with some wood in between. So kind of an inverted half Worcester. And he gets it. Went back and forth a few times and it picked it up. 1, 2, 3. Yep. So that's what he wanted. Get that spare done early. So that puts him at 61 plus a ball of 6. And this time he's on a 3-pin, but he takes out 7, so that's a good fill. That's enough if he can pin out to win the string. So 68, 3-pin lead. And just the 1, 2, and 4 to shoot at. And goes wide to the right. So open in box 7. Not a lot of margin here, so he wants to pin out anyway. And that's a 9 box. So that gives him a 77. It's just a slim 2-pin lead here right now. And Linehan put down 3 10 boxes. So if Sean can only afford 2 9s here, really 1 9 if he wants to win. So he's on the 6-pin that time, drops out 3. He's got the double row. Puts it where he wants to, gets another mark. I'm intimately familiar with that leave. I get that a lot. So it's makeable if you put it in the pocket, and he made it. So it gives him 87 plus a ball. That should do it for him. But a lot can happen in 2 boxes, so let's find out. Waiting on balls to show up. There it is. He's got a particular ball he wants to start with. All right, he put it on the 3-pin that time. Picked up 5 in the fill, so he's at 92. He's got a little bit of a mess down there. 1, 2, 6, 9, 10. So the 2 in a triangle. He's trying to kick off the ball from the head pin over. Just picks up the 9, so 4 left. 1, 2, 6, and 9. And there we go. Some action, but doesn't take out the back. So an 8 box puts him at 100. He needs 6 pins to win. Not a high-scoring string here. Okay, we're going to see again on a 3-pin. That's 7 pins. That's enough to win the string. Wants to pad his total. He's up 29 pins after the last game. And he's got the 1, 9, 10 and just about picks it up. Nice attempt. So the 1 pin went right in front. Yeah, carried right in front of the 10. Looking at the replay here. And a 10 box. So Sean's at 110. He picks up that string by 5 pins. And after 4 strings, the total scores are 470 to 436 in favor of Sean Taylor. And Sean's at 6 points to Rob's 2. And Sean has a 34-pin lead in total coming into the 5th and final string of this match. So Rob's looking to pick up a big string here, which we saw on Saturday in my match, where I had won game 1, 2, and 4. Then my opponent was ahead in total by about 15 or 20. My opponent came in and threw a Patrick Kellogg threw a monster string in the tail end to pick up total and ended up with 8. That's what Rob's trying to do here. So he drops 8 in his first ball and in the gutter on that one. So an 8 box. Just missed that. Anywhere else but there, we probably would have had a spare. Yep. So he'll start with an 8 now. He picks himself up and goes on to the next box. He's on the head pin and gets what we call the banana split. The 4, 6, 7, 10. Wood over by the right. Let's see which one he chooses to go for. Going for the wood. Try to kick it off the wall. It kicks it off the wall, but behind the other 2. Great effort on that one. Not much you can do. It's a tough shot. Hit the wood right on the red line. And now he's going to try to pick up a 10. And he picks up a 9. He brushed the 7 pin, but not enough to knock it down. So 17 after 2. All right, box 3, game 5. Linehan in a deficit situation here, trying to catch up on the head pin, and there's a strike. 5 pin to last to go. Got taken out by a pin coming off the wall. So that's what he wants to do. He wants a few of these. He needs to win by 35 to win total. So he needs a big string here. Coming into the pocket again. Looked like a potential double, but a little full on the head pin, so he's left with a check mark on the left. And that's a 2-4-5-7. Makeable spare. All right, he's off the object, so picks up 2 more. So 7 in the fill for 35 after 3. Rob's head pin hits are great today. And a 10 box, 45 after 4. Rob's done a great job on a head pin today. So far in this match, he's at 59%. Sean's at 40%. There's another head pin hit, and very similar to the last box. Only 1 more pin instead of the check mark. He's got the check mark plus the 8 pin. And great spare attempt on that, but the 8 pin decided to stick around. If that had been the check mark, that would have gone. Now he's trying to wave that wood around. Telekinesis isn't working today. And caps the wood, doesn't take anything, a 9 box to close. So Linehan closes the half at 54. And Taylor an opportunity here to take 12 points. He just has to win this string. Even if he loses by 33, it'll be a 10-4 game match. So Taylor comes up, first ball, he's way off on the left on the 4 pin, just takes out 2. And on the 2 pin that time, a few more, so he's got a 4 horseman right to try to make it 10. Took out just 4 more. And off in the ocean a little bit, just past the beach. And that results in a 6 box. So early on, Linehan's got a 2 pin lead. On a 2 pin again, 4 horsemen right again. Okay, trying to pick up the spare. Full on a head pin, open in a second. And a 9 box, so that puts Taylor at 15, down 2 pins still. Sean trying to see if he can bring a ball back here. He's short a ball or 2. That time he's on a 2 pin again, and it's a lot of action, but leaves, it looks like the 8 and a 10. And just the 8. It's another open box. And in that one, he was up against a strike 8, so that'll put him further down. 10 box. And Sean's going to call that a foul. I guess it was, looking at the delayed reaction here. So 24 after 3. On a 3 pin that time. 7 go. We have the head pin and the 6 and the 10. There's wood in between. That could make this a little bit easier to make if he hits a head pin. You make it go one way or the other. There we go. He played on the inside, and that worked perfectly. So a spare for Linehan in the 4th box. And on the fill, on the 3 pin, just picks up 3. Brings him a little closer. He's at 37 after 4, and he's got a bit of a, like half the rack on the left plus a 10. Trying to spare that, and look at that, just about does. Kicked the pin back from the wall to take out the 5, but it went into the pit before it hit it. So Sean closes with a 10 box. He's at 47 after 5. Down 7 pins in completed boxes. Coming up to our last half. So what Rob's hoping to do is throw a huge half here and try to come up, win by 35 pins. Anything less than that, the most he can walk away with is 4 today. And that's if he wins this string and doesn't win total. So Taylor's head pin hit has gone down to 36%. Linehan's at 60%. Rob came in on the head pin that time and gets a kind of ugly leave. He's got the triangle to the right plus the 5 pin and some wood. It might help, but it might deflect the ball over to the right. Well, I think it's his only hope is probably hit that low, see what happens. But it's going to be tough to cover all those back 3 pins. It's going right there, right in the spot, and it takes nothing. Not even a single pin goes down with that. You figure you're going to get something out of that. That wasn't right. Well, he got 1 that time, so a 7 box. That was a head pin hit. And just like we've seen with Sean, when he's had a lot of head pin hits, he gets a lot of times a really rough leave. Linehan in box 7, he's a 61 after 6. Head pin again.
Same lead plus 3 pin, right?
Yeah, that makes it a lot easier, though. As Bob was saying, it's the same leave as the last box, but it left the 3 pin up. That's a lot easier to get than what he had. Look at that. Come on, get over there. All right. That's not fair. He came in pretty solid in the 3-6 pocket, and they went flying around, but the 9 pin decided to be stubborn and didn't get touched by anything. And there's a 10 box, 71 after 7. Being some relatively low scoring games for these guys. All right, box 8. Head pin again. Everything but the 10 pin. Had a couple pieces of pins that went over there that kind of teased it taking out the 10, but they didn't do it. So single pin spare to make. And he's all over it. No problem with that at all. 81 plus a ball. Rob made it look easy. Corner pins can be tough. And that's his 10th spare of the string of the match. So far, Rob's got 10 spares and 3 strikes. On the 2 pin, punches out a half Worcester left. That gives him a 2 fill. So 83 after 8, not what he wanted to do. That probably puts total out of reach. Pretty close to it. Oh, great bid on that. Put it in the right-hand pocket with a left to right hooking ball, and we got a lot of action out of that, but left the 5 pin. And goes in between the wood and the pin, so a 9 box, so Rob's at 92 after 9. Coming up to his last box of this match. So Rob looking for a big finish. First ball. On the head pin again. Drops 8. The 2 and the 4 are left. And Rob's head pin total is around 63% right now. That's excellent. And does not get the spare, so open in the 10th. One more pin to shoot at. And he goes wide, so Rob ends up with a 101. I know. And a total for the match of 537 for Rob. So, unless Sean throws a game in the low 70s, he's probably going to win total here. No, you had a really good percentage. Not today. Rob is telling us he doesn't feel a pace to hit the head pin, and he was on it a lot. Now this time Taylor's on the head pin, and there you go. That exemplifies what Rob was saying, that the head pin's not that friendly today, because he took out 5. He's got a check mark right plus a 7, and just picks up the 5 pin. So Taylor's left with a split. Three and 1. Cuts it over beautifully for a 10 box 57 after 8. Head pin hit, and imagine that, another head pin, another split. Unbelievable tonight. So he has the 4, 7, and over on the right is the 6. There's some very interesting wood between those. Let's see if he can make it fly. He's going for it, and maybe on the 3rd attempt, nope. Okay, the 7 pin survived that onslaught, but he made a great bid on that. And the 9 box for Taylor, so he's a 66. Rob's got the lead in this string. Rob's up 5 pins in the string, and he's got his spare 2. Yep. Taylor's got on the head pin again, and again a split. Now this is the 2, 7, 5, and 10, and there's a lot of wood in there that might make this a little more makeable. Sean's got to be on the 2. He is. And no, the 7 pin stayed up by a time. A lot of red numbers up there for Sean on this string. Red numbers in Millis' scoring system means that it was a split. That's a 10 box 76. He's down 7 pins. So he needs to spare. He needs a spare to win this string. On the head pin. And this time it's not a split. Can you believe it? It's not a split this time. Drops 8. It's the 4, 7 are left. And some wood that's out there. I don't see how he can get around it. Got to use it. And the wood does not work, but maybe there we go. Late action. Spare in the 9th for Taylor. After fighting the splits here, both these guys getting on the head pin and getting some terrible leaves as a result. Taylor on the fill, head pin, and not to be repetitious, but another split. So if 8 in the fill, that'll win the string and total. And he makes a shot at it. Nothing goes. And Taylor's got an 8 box for a 102. He wins the string by 1 pin. 101.
Okay.
All right, so Taylor.
Good news for Rob is he won the head pins.
Yep, so Rob won head pins today. You don't get anything for that, but it was 62% head pins. Taylor was 41% on the head pins. Taylor had 13 spares and 1 strike. Linehan had 10 spares and 3 strikes. So in total, Taylor ends up with a 572, and that's enough to win total versus Linehan's 537. So the final score is 12-2 in favor of Sean Taylor, and rough games for both guys today. But that's where we end up. Sean ended up on the plus side of that one. Bob, you want to close this out?
I think the less said, the better. All right, it looks like we're frozen on the screen anyway. So we'll see you soon, and hopefully see you on the lanes.
All right. We'll see you later. Thanks for joining us.